Hello everyone, welcome to Botany Optional channel for the UPSC examination. In today's video, we are going to see the ecological importance of the fungi. Now the first ecological application of a fungi is that they act as a decomposers in an ecosystem. As you may have familiar with the ecosystem is made up of the biotic plus abiotic things, right? Now, in this ecosystem, many life processes are happening, and in these life processes, many animals tend to become the dead, right? Many plants as well as the animals dead in this ecosystem. Now, these dead plants and animals are decomposed by the decomposers, which are made up of the bacteria and fungi. That is, fungi plus bacteria combine act as a decomposers in an ecosystem. Now all this dead material is decomposed by the bacteria and fungi. And in this process of decomposition, they break down inorganic compounds present in the dead animals into the organic compounds. And these organic compounds are later available to the living plants and animals. That means these decomposers act as a bridge between providing the compounds which are available to the living organism and the compound which are not available to the living organism. That means you cannot imagine an ecosystem without the decomposers, because if there were no decomposers, the ecosystem will made up of the dead plants and animals. That means if the dead animals and plants not get decomposed, they will remain as it is and it will disturb the whole chain in an ecosystem. But the decomposers done this very important function of decomposing the dead material. Now in this picture you can see here all the dead material is decomposed by the decomposers and converted into the form that is readily available to the other living organisms, right? So decomposers make available the nutrients to the living organism in the very simpler organic forms. So this is the very first important ecological function of an fungi, that they act as a decomposers in an ecosystem. All right. Now, second important ecological function of a fungi is that relationship with higher plants. As you may have heard about fungi forming the symbiotic relationship with the angiosperms. And not only with angiosperm, they also form symbiotic association with the gymnosperms. Now, in this association, the fungus tends to present on the roots of the higher plants. Now, this association between the fungus and the higher plants is commonly called as the mycorrhizae. This relationship between the fungus and the higher plants is popularly called as the mycorrhizae. Now, this mycorrhizae may be the ectomycorrhizae or endomycorrhizae. All right. These types depends upon whether fungus is present outside of the on the outer surface of the root of an higher plant or present inside of the cells of roots of higher plants. All right. If they present on the outer surface of the root, then it is called the ectomycorrhiza, and if they are present inside the cell, then it is called the endomycorrhiza. Now, what is the benefit of this association? Now, the fungus which is present on the outer surface of the root of a higher plants, that is the ectomycorrhiza, tends to increase the surface area of a root. And due to the increase in surface area of a root, the absorption of water and minerals increases. And due to the increase in the water and minerals uptake, the growth of the plant is tends to happen very quickly. All right. And if the fungus is present inside the root of the higher plants, that is the endomycorrhiza, these helps in absorption of these waters and minerals in the plants. All right, and that is why again they are adding to the vigorous growth of the plant. The relationship between the fungus and the higher plants is a symbiotic type of relationship in which both the partners get benefited. So in an ecosystem, Fungus form the symbiotic association with the higher plants in which both get benefited. So this is the second ecological function of a fungi. Now the third ecological function of a fungi is that there is also a relationship between the fungus and the insect. Many insects tends to lay their eggs on the fungi, and by laying the eggs on these fungi, when there is a larval development, these larvae are tend to absorb the nutrients from these fungi and grow. And this is how the insect larvae are growing on the fungus, provide the nutrition to the growing larvae of the insect. In this relationship, the larvae of the insect get benefited, but fungus do not have any benefit. That is why we cannot say that this is an symbiotic type of association. All right. So fungus again provide the shelter and habitat for the larvae of the insect, and that is why again proving very useful in an ecosystem. All right. The next ecological function of fungi is that their relationship with the algae. As you know that the relationship between algae and fungi, famously known as the lichens, right? Now these lichens are very important organisms because in a process called succession, in which the barren land is converted into the life, is started with these fungus, because on the barren land these fungus first started to grow and start the process of pedogenesis. As you know, in the process of pedogenesis, there is a formation of soil. When there is a no life on these rock systems, lichens came into the picture and start the process of pedogenesis, and in the process they form the soil. And after forming the soil, these small plants came there, then the large plants, and eventually the whole lifeless rock is got converted into the forest ecosystem. That is, the lifeless form is converted into the life form. All right. So the beginning of this process of ecological succession started with the lichen, and lichen is nothing but the combination of fungi plus algae. Fungi play a very important role in the association, and in a consequence, they create the soil, which in turn for converts the lifeless barren land into the forest. All right. So lichen plays a very important ecological role of the pedogenesis, and the lichen is made up of fungi and algae, and that is why fungus is again very important in an ecosystem, that it help in an ecological succession. All right. Now the next ecological function of a fungi is fungi completes the food chain. Now, here is the example of food chain. Here are the plants, that is the leaf, which is eaten by the caterpillar. Now, this caterpillar is eaten by the chameleon. Now, this chameleon is eaten by the snake. And now, this snake is eaten by the mangoes. Now, this mangoes is not available to the plant, right? Plants cannot eat these mangoes. But what happened in between? When these mangoes got died, on these dried mangoes, fungus and the other bacteria act and decompose these mangoes into the simple organic compound. Now, this simple organic compound which is present in the soil is now readily available to the plants. That roots of the plants can absorb this simple organic compounds from the soil. But transferring these simple organic compound from the mongoose to the soil is performed by the decomposers, that is the fungi and bacteria. So fungus plays a very important role in completing the food web, right? Without them, the food web would have not been completed. So this is very important for ecological function of an fungi. All right. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like the video. If you have any doubt or question about the lecture, please mention in the comment box. Please share this video with your friends who are studying the botany subject, and please subscribe to Botany optional channel for the UPSC examination. So thank you very much for watching this video. See you soon in the next video.